That's a good question, and it's one I'm not actually asked often, and I think there is a difference between them, because it's always going to be an adaptation. In the books, first and foremost, he's 14 years old, and that didn't work for the TV show. At first, we tried to make him look as young as possible, and then I think HBO just thought, let's age him up. And so for me, I was playing him as my own age. So yeah, he's different in that I've made him older, and he is older. But he doesn't differ greatly. I mean, I try and make it as true to the book as I can. Not all of them, most of them.
Most?
Yeah.
Up to 4?
Up to 4, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
So you know what's going to happen?
I know pretty much most of Jon's story, although it was a long time ago I read them, and I tried not to get too far ahead of myself, so I'm now going back and returning to them season by season. I can't say.
Really?
It's something I do have a theory about him and his mother, but I'm never going to disclose it. It's all still in George's mind, and I don't want my thoughts on his mother to affect what people think might happen. Yes, yeah, and I think there's a big moment in season 1 where he rides and his friends intercept him, and that's a big turning point, and it's touch and go then. Anything could have happened, but he has to make a decision, and his decision is, I stay with my oath.
But you wouldn't stay if you were Jon?
I don't know, it's hard. I think I have my own brother, I have a brother.
Right.
And thinking about our father being killed and my brother wanting to avenge and me not being able to is something that is very, and that's something you have to face with the character. So I don't know, I can't answer that question. I am. I'm filming a film at the moment called Seventh Son, which is a film that's filming in Vancouver, and I'm filming with two of my favourite actors, Jeff Bridges and Julianne Moore, so I'm doing that.
This is awesome.
That's awesome, I know, that's great. Stark.
Why?
Because they're the best.
Why?
Because they are. Because they believe in doing what's right. The Lannisters fight for themselves. The Targaryens are just a weird bunch. And the Starks are the best. They're the quietest, the most humble.
Right.
And they do the right thing. And I think Jon is a Stark, essentially, and that's what I want to be. He goes beyond the wall, and he has to deal with the wildlings and possibly the White Walkers, who are kind of ancient, who we see a bit of. So we don't know whether he meets them and deals with them yet. But that's what goes. That's what we see him heading into is this unknown, which is north of the wall, and where we know those two groups of people live. I do have contact with George. George is always very open for us to email him and ask questions. We see him at publicity events like Comic-Con. He's also very hands-on. He's a producer and he writes one episode a season. So we do see him on set, and he does come and put his input into things. And it's his, this is his world, and it's very, very obviously very, very dear to him. And so he wants it to be done right, and hopefully, between us, we're getting it right. Well, I won't speak for season 2 because there were difficult scenes in that, but I don't want to spoil anything. The most difficult scene in season 1, I think, it was probably the scene that I mentioned earlier of riding south.
Right.
There's certain times in this series where things that your character's doing can affect you emotionally, and I found that quite hard. I don't know whether it will or won't. We've just been told it's going ahead, which is great news for all of us. And we start working on it like we did with the other seasons, probably in about July.
Do you guys keep pressing George to write the book so that season can go?
The poor man's got so much on his mind already that I don't want to be pressing him for anything. I've got nothing but huge respect for him. So I don't press him in any way at all, no.